Yeah, this thing is really paining me, okay? When I watch videos and I hear people talking about go back to your country, go back to your country, go back to your country, it's really paining me. You know what I mean? Because people talk sometimes without reasoning, without stopping for a second to think, okay? Before you sit and tell another person, go back to your country, sit for a second and think, reflect. Like, just let your brain function and be like, okay, what if this was my mom? What if this was my dad? My beloved sisters or my beloved brothers, okay? What, just what if for a second this was like my relative, my family members, okay? People don't choose. People don't sit and be like, hey, I'm in my mother's stomach. I want to be born here. I want to be born by this parent. Or I want to come from here. People don't think. Imagine if this is your sister, if this is your brother, okay? A blood relative or whoever you care about so much, okay? Do you want your own blood relative or your sisters to go back to a country where they are being slaughtered like goats? Would you want your own blood relative to go back to a country where children are being given off to marriage at the age of 11, 12? Is that the kind of fate that you want for your own family or for your own relative? When you tell people to go back to their country, okay? Try to wear their shoe. Try to stop for a second and think, okay? Would you want your own sisters, your own brothers, or whoever you care so much about to go back to a country where they can barely afford 1 square meal a day, where children are dying of starvation? Is that what you want for your own family? Is that what you want for your own relative? People don't have conscience. People don't sit and think for a second like, okay, this can be me. You don't sit and decide like, hey, I want to come from the lineage of the president. I want to come from the lineage of the most, let me not start calling them, of the lineage of Bill Gates. Let me just say for example, okay? That's just an example. Kids don't get to choose like where they come from, okay? Or where they're supposed to come from. Like from rich parents, from like whatever world, whatever country. They don't get to choose. People find themselves in like situations that they cannot help. But if you got human conscience, okay, you think for a second before you say stuff to people. You take time to like reflect like, oh, okay, what if this was me? What if this was my family member? Would you send them back to a country where women have no say so? Would you send them to a country where a child has no privilege to education? Or to a country where a child is like, for example, 6, 7, 8 and they're at home. They can't go to school because their parents can't afford $10. That's it, okay, 10 to send them to school. Would you do that? What if that was you? What if that was your sister? What if that was your brother? What if that was your mom? What if that was your dad? Would you send them back? This life is full of emptiness, okay? When you die tomorrow, you don't go with anything. So what's the beef? All some people want, okay, is just that opportunity. That opportunity, that little opportunity. All some people want as like parents or as like mothers is to give life or is to lay a foundation, okay, for their kids, for example, because they don't want their kids to go through like the same pain, the same anger, the same anguish that they went through as children. All they want is just an opportunity. So before you tell people to go back to their country, before you tell people to go back to where they are coming from, Where are you coming from? If you can identify where you're coming from, let me know. Before you raise finger and point to somebody like go back to your country. Try to think, what if that was your sister? What if that was your brother? What if that was like your dad, your mom, and somebody walk up to them and be like, go back to your country? Where would you go to? Where is your country? I am sick and tired of watching videos like this, like, what? I'm trying not to curse right now, okay? There is enough in the world, okay? There is enough in the world for everybody. If people can just stop being selfish, so selfish. Nobody knows tomorrow, okay? Nobody knows tomorrow. Give people a chance. Give people the opportunity, because you will know nothing about their story. You know nothing about their history. You know nothing about where they're coming from. Before you judge people, think. So don't get mad if you get judged too. Only God is the judge.